If someone was slamming your right foot into the car door and no one necessarily told you, and then one day they told you about it, and all of a sudden your foot stopped hurting and throbbing, which you didn't even realize that was the cause for the foot to hurt in the first place. Now the foot starts to feel better because someone told you to remove your foot from the car door, and the foot being slammed into the car door. All of a sudden your foot, it starts to feel a bit better, 'cause someone told you all you had to do was move your foot away from the car door, and now you're a better person. You can be part of the world in a better fashion, because you are accepting the best person and the best version of yourself, because now you don't have an inability to be able to perform in a less efficient fashion, because you have your whole foot and your whole functionality of your feet to be able to perform a bit more efficiently, because you were informed about your ailment from before, and it was an easy solution because you didn't even know your foot was being slammed into a car door. And this, my friend, is an analogy. Welcome to the news. So what it is an analogy for is wasting a lot of the world's goods every single day. What I am actually making a reference to, an analogy to, and a metaphor to, in essence, is not your foot being slammed into the car door, but it is a correlation to a connection to another person's foot being slammed into a car door. It is another person's foot being slammed into a car door because of negligence of acknowledging the circuitry and the acknowledgement of a pipeline that connects the circuitry and the energy to all people in the globe as we know it, because whether it seems like a large number or not, 8 billion people realistically is not that many people at all. So when a moment is taken to step back and acknowledge that when one person doesn't acknowledge that another person is connected to them, then it's like, just because their day was good, it's not necessarily that well understood that another person has to sacrifice their foot being slammed into a car door for that other person in the world to be able to have a good day, and so on and so forth. This is what the analogy is trying to proclaim here today. Okay. So, how to fix this issue, how to improve this nature of the world? It's trying to acknowledge that there is a connection to all humanity to begin with, and this is very fundamental in terms of energy, in terms of understanding how it is all connected to energy. And this brings us to the purpose of bringing about and talking about philanthropy energy all of the time, and almost every single podcast. It's philanthropy energy. That is the core focus for all things that we're trying to provide an example for it, and a lead into is understanding philanthropy energy, because philanthropy energy is the energy that is fundamental to connect all human beings to each other. And it's understanding that there's a supply and demand of philanthropy energy. And it's connected also directly to monetary energy. And so that correlation to monetary energy allows for monetary energy to be able to be a backbone and a basis and a backdrop for philanthropy energy to be able to connect all human beings in the world. And therefore, monetary energy is also connecting all human beings in the world. And that also has a supply and demand and a finite source and resource. Just like there's a finite number of human beings on the earth, there's about 8 billion of them. And all monetary energy is connecting all businesses in the world. in all business in the world, because that's the foundational fundamental energy is monetary energy, and that therefore is a connection fundamentally to all businesses in the world in an obvious sense, but philanthropy energy is the thing that connects all people in the world and all businesses at the same time in the world, because giving is the forefront and the fundamental metric that is connecting all businesses and all humans to each other in terms of giving and giving energy and giving fundamental energy to the nature of businesses. And that's how businesses are able to be recognized in a marketing sense, to be able to grow in popularity in terms of the content that they give to the world, in terms of how they connect to giving into the global pipeline that has to do with giving energy, that has to do with connecting all human beings to different businesses, and in an ongoing sense growing their popularity and their standing and their understanding of where they are standing, and how that takes on different gravity and takes on different energy and takes on a different flow in terms of growing that popularity, in terms of growing that energy, in terms of growing that business energy. And what that all boils down to is philanthropic energy. How much are they giving? In all of their messaging? How much are they giving in all their communication to be able to give to the world, and to be able to give to the world? What kind of commercials, what kind of value, what kind of entertainment, what kind of edutainment is being transmitted in terms of what will grow a company, in terms of what will grow their monetary energy, in terms of this day and age still, just a slight bit of entertainment is all it can take to be able to get in front of people, to be able to convert their attention into sales. Just a bit of entertainment will convert sales, so that monetary energy is the result of a little bit of entertainment. And as a result, not even edutainment, but just entertainment, people being pleased for a couple of seconds will cause sales to occur, and therefore conversions of attention and energy and monetary energy into a new brand, a new pipeline of focus for that brand to be able to take market share, to then therefore have power in terms of people's attention going forward, to be able to influence the world from that time on. And that is a good thing to be able to know and acknowledge, because that therefore causes power for all people in the world to be able to get that understanding and that power to be able to transition that influence and that energy into the world becoming a better place, because that's the purpose of all businesses, is to solve problems, to be able to resolve problems, to be able to resolve and resolve the world's problems, but to be able to delegate yourself as the problem solver of that particular niche, of a particular problem that wants to be solved by a business. All it takes sometimes is a little bit of entertainment to then therefore being able to be delegated as the person to be able to solve that problem in this given business world space. So why that matters and why that's relevant is because monetary energy is a finite energy, and there are therefore people in the world, in all corners in the world, in all parts of the world, not just in terms of businesses and business niches in all around the world, but in terms of countries are being deprived of philanthropic energy, or not just philanthropic energy, but also monetary energy. Monetary energy first is lacking in many ways in many countries all around the world. And so when you just acknowledge and realize that there's supply and demand, and that when people waste energy, when they do not acknowledge that there's a fundamental connection between all people in the world and all people that are connected to the global economy in all ways in the world, that when they are doing certain things and have certain tendencies across the world, in a place where their business is doing well, in a place where they have monetary energy, in a place where they have excess in terms of monetary energy, in terms of excess to where they can spend it on their family, in terms of excess in their pockets, in their flow, in their bank accounts, so they don't understand and realize and acknowledge the connections around the whole entire world in terms of an economic connection and an economic connectivity and a country connectivity to other countries in the world, in a fundamental economic sense that connects all human beings to a economic global financial grid. And at the same time, this therefore ties into philanthropic energy in terms of philanthropic energy grid, because giving is the backdrop of the economic energy at the same time, because there is a fundamental flow that is not realized and gains that are not realized in the sense of philanthropy energy. Philanthropy energy is the ability to be able to give to all human beings in the world, but it's not ever typically, in other words, realized in terms of those gains, realized in terms of continuous monetary energy and monetary productivity flow that is able to more so be realized by connecting more philanthropic energy that connects all around the whole entire world, around all people in the world, 8 billion people being able to be piped into this philanthropic energy world, because that is the greatest energy, that is the greatest art, is being able to connect all people to philanthropy energy. Philanthropy energy is way more powerful and more significant than monetary energy because it connects all human beings in a fundamental sense, because philanthropic energy acknowledges that all people are part of the human philanthropy energy grid, and that philanthropy energy grid connects fundamentally all human beings. And therefore, when certain people are getting certain gains and rewards and they're doing well on one side of the world, it's not necessarily as easy to be able to slam the foot of other people into car doors in other places in the world, because there other places in the world are realizing that by doing certain things and certain tendencies and certain spending habits of monetary energy does detract from, and it takes away from, and it causes issues and grief for other people in the world. If one person does well, another person's foot tends to be slammed into a car door. And so therefore, with the acknowledgement of the global philanthropic energy, global giving games, philanthropic energy, Change for Game Studios, Global Giving Grid, the Global Giving Philanthropic Energy, Global Giving Grid that connects all human beings in the philanthropic energy, Global Giving Games, Philanthropic Energy, Global Giving Grid that is connected to an ice rink, that is a metaphor, that is floating in the sky, that is a DINKY Tech and Change for Game Studios metaphor and intellectual property in essence, or proprietary metaphor visualization to be able to continue to be able to visualize the philanthropic energy, philanthropic global philanthropic energy grid that connects all human beings in the world, so that it is fundamentally the first thing in mind that when all people visualize the philanthropic energy grid, that they fundamentally get the consensus and the conceptual visualization that all people are connected to the philanthropy energy grid in the sky that is connecting all human beings through electricity that is based around giving. It's giving energy, so that when people that are doing well in one aspect of the world, when they have realization that they are spending and wasting money all the time, that money can directly, and energy can directly pipe into the philanthropy energy grid, and that can be repurposed and recycled if it's not wasted, especially because just by the mentality, just by the understanding, just by the acknowledgement that they have wasteful tendencies, that they have greedy tendencies, by not acknowledging the global philanthropy grid to begin with, that they're just on a global monetary energy grid and that's it, because it just is like, oh, well, I win and other people lose, and there's no way for me to give back in this monetary energy grid space, because there's no actual way to give back in that space, because there's not a direct way for pipelines to happen. When, in contrast to that, the global philanthropy energy grid is realized that is therefore already connecting all human beings, and it brings consciousness and awareness to all human beings in the world. So hopefully they can start to stop wasting energy, which is monetary energy included, as well as energy that can be repurposed in terms of physical energy in the physical forms also, so that physical energy forms, just like little sensors in the ground, that when you walk on them, they repurpose electricity into a electricity grid, can be repurposed just like this, in a way that philanthropy energy can be repurposed into the philanthropy energy global grid that connects all human beings to be able to be earning recycled energy that connects all human beings in a fundamental sense, and it's available to all human beings. It's an account in the world that's in a bank account in the world that's available to all human beings in the world at all given times. And this all needs to be realized by just paying attention to it, so that people do not need to lose, because there's abundance when we all work together to be able to bring this global philanthropic energy grid to all people and human beings in the world, so that the focus becomes taking away from the focus of everybody's self, and it becomes about the collective greater good, because it's not about communism, it's about the greater global good. It's about the greater interest for all human beings to be able to have basic necessities and not starve to death, because that's just a basic necessity. And when you bring your attention and that blood flow from your brain is consistently flowing in the direction of energy, in the direction of philanthropic energy, that therefore can connect telekinesis and ESP telekinesis, and that realization and acknowledgement of collective potential, acknowledgement and focus of potential, consistent, consecutive focus and flow of attention and energy in this fashion, can bring direct monetary energy to transform in the direction of philanthropic energy, in the philanthropic energy global giving philanthropic energy grid that will bring philanthropic energy to all human beings just through the realization that this is possible, and also the opposite of it, realizing that the old way of just focusing on everybody's selves all the time because they have monetary energy in their pockets, that they should spend it on themselves all the time, is something that should go out the window, and all the garbage and wasteful waste on clothes, spending on clothes that never get worn, they sometimes will get recycled or given away or thrown away. There's so much waste, and this is expensive goods and services that are spent on things that are frivolous because it's just people thinking about themselves, is the popular mass majority, not minority, majority all the time. And that mindset is percolating and populating through materialism, through the monetary energy system on a consistent basis. And so triangulating that and translating that into the philanthropic energy mindset is the mindset that already organically, fundamentally connects all human beings in the world. And so therefore it just transitions and translates the ability to be able to optimize all human beings' lives for all corners that they can develop, to be able to etch out of their giving day-to-day schedules, so that the wastefulness does not go to waste anymore, because there's an acknowledgement that it is going to waste, and people's feet can stop being slammed into car doors all around the world every single day, all the time, every single day, all the time, consistently flowing car door, people's feet being slammed in car doors, being slammed in cars, because people on the other sides of the world that have that are doing well off, that are good in monetary energy, that have monetary energy flowing in their favor based on the economy, are not acknowledging, they're not weary, because their mindset are not in the philanthropic energy grid, they're in the monetary energy grid, which is not allowing them capabilities to connect to all human beings in the world fundamentally, like the philanthropic energy global giving philanthropic energy grid is. Because fundamentally, when you're acknowledging games, you're trying to develop games that connect all people more so to the philanthropic energy philanthropic grid, because all people are trying to play games to connect all more so people, and connect more so people to the mindset of philanthropic energy giving grid, because that is the game. That's the game for change. Games, change for games. That's the change for games. That is the games for change for games for change for games, to change for games, reason to change for games. Because when you acknowledge that philanthropic energy grid in the sky, the ice rink in the sky, the philanthropic energy that's floating in the sky in the 3D3 POD engine that's symbolized by the DINKY Tech logo, as well the black hole sun that's trying to generate this philanthropic energy in a perpetual sense, on an ongoing sense, and try to connect all human beings to this mindset that this is a collective game that we're all allowed to play, and we can play it under the radar of all governments at the same time, and all of these things, because the collective energy of all human beings is greater, and we can do it like a flash mob. All human beings can do it like a flash mob every single day, like it's always a flash mob that's being played every single day, all the time, 24 hours a day, like the sport of business, is always playing 24 hours a day, like the currency markets are always moving 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this is the opportunity for all human beings to be able to play that game 24 hours, 7 days a week, all the time, the game of the philanthropy energy grid, where we all have the ability to acknowledge how much waste is happening, and other people's feet are being slammed into car doors because of the wastefulness. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way once this is acknowledged, and the energy can be repurposed and repipelined back into the process to be able to focus on nourishing all souls, nourishing all souls in the world, nourishing all souls in the world with all the collective efforts of all the human beings to be able to collectively help all one another in this fashion, by acknowledging the philanthropic energy global giving games grid, yes. And speaking of nourishment, it should also be illegal. It should be illegal for all this waste to happen. To happen, and that's a fantastic methodology and mindset to be able to live by in the Change for Games Studios world. In the Change for Games Studios world, it's illegal in that fashion of just the same way that a lot of things are. It's like socially illegal. It's socially illegal to not acknowledge the waste that goes by the wayside. And it also should be illegal for junk food, and unhealthy food to be legal. It should be illegal for all unhealthy food to be legal. It should be illegal for all unhealthy food to be legal and on the markets for all people to be able to consume, because that deteriorates from the quality of people's lives just by having the ability to have the choice for unhealthy food to be available to them, because it takes away from their chemistry, it takes away from their existence, it takes away from their ability to live the best life that they can, because their chemistry is realistically the fundamental foundational item that carries them as a vessel through this planet. And if it's legally allowed to be able to be deteriorated from bad, negative, chemically altered food that's not sourced and allowed to be acknowledged as the healthiest food possible by the government governing bodies that are governing them, to be able to allow less than that type of food to be able to be allowed into the system, what really good is the government doing to begin with if they can't fundamentally be focused on acknowledging that the best chemistry and the best food that is best mandated to be best made available, best as possible in every single day, every given day basis, for all the best food for all human beings to be able to consume all the time? If that's not their number one priority, then what else would be a number one priority beyond that? Because that is the nature of the first priority, to be able to make all human beings the most healthy possible at the most best possible times, at all given times as possible, to reduce toxicity to the maximum efficiency sense by testing everything, and making sure the maximum efficiency in food and nourishment for all human beings is the most top priority for all human beings. And so that's another way that therefore all human beings in the world can collectively work together to be able to be one world government, one world country, to be able to look out for all of one another in a global flash mob that can be played 24 hours, 7 days a week. 24 hours, 7 days a week that we're playing a flash mob global country. We're playing a global flash mob global world. We're playing a global flash mob global one earth, one planet, one flag for the global earth, as one planet, one flag, where everybody in the world wants to nourish each other's souls in the best format, in the most efficient format as possible, so that everybody has the most efficient, effective chemistry, chemical, most effective, most efficient, most chemically sound, most efficiently tested, sound, nourishment, nutritious, nourishing, vitalizing, vitality that they possibly can, in terms of going forward, in terms of living on this planet, in terms of having those tests be able to be optimizing performance for human cells and human chemistry and all given human beings in the world. So yeah, I suppose hopefully we're moving in that direction. Yeah, and hopefully I guess we can all start now. Yeah, as well. Yeah. Thanks again. Good to see you. Dinky Tech. Have a good night. Yeah, Dinky Tech. Peace, bye. Oh yeah, and just one last thing, we want to try to conceptualize doing music, punky DM, like in front of animal shelters. Yeah, we want to try to do some punky DM music in front of animal shelters. Try to do more music in front of animal shelters all around the world, so that they have the ability to be able to get more promotion for animal shelters, so that they can be able to become optimized in terms of promotion, so that they can hopefully become more known about and more aware, and there's more awareness for animal shelters, so that they can become more known about and better promoted, so that these animals have the best ability to be adopted and cared for from animal shelters, promotion, and from collaborations, from media and collaborations for all animal shelters, to be able to have shows and entertainment revolve around them, so that the more promotion can come and visit and be focused around animal shelters, so that all the animals are just as well looked after as humans. Yeah. Thanks again, Dinky Tech. Peace, bye.